Title: The Chocolate Hole of Choczilla. Chapter 1. The Warning. In the small town of Maplewood, there was a legend that sent shivers down the spines of its residents. The legend spoke of a sinister entity known as Choczilla, a monstrous creature that dwelled in a mysterious chocolate hole hidden deep within the dark forests that surrounded the town. It was said that once you entered the chocolate hole, you would never come out, as Choczilla would devour you with its demon eyes and sharp teeth. The townspeople knew better than to venture near the chocolate hole, for the stories of Choczylla's brutality were enough to keep even the bravest souls at bay. But there were always those foolish enough to test fate, to seek out the forbidden and face the consequences. One such fool was Sarah, a young woman with a rebellious spirit and a thirst for adventure. Despite the warnings from her friends and family, Sarah couldn't resist the lure of the chocolate hole. She had heard the tales of Choczylla's hunt, of the mind games and torture that awaited those who dared to enter its domain, and yet she felt a strange urge pulling her towards the darkness. Chapter 2. The Descent. Under the light of the full moon, Sarah made her way through the dense forest towards the chocolate hole. The air was thick with the scent of cocoa, and the ground beneath her feet seemed to tremble with each step she took. As she drew closer to her destination, a sense of unease crept over her, but she pushed aside her fears and pressed on. Finally, after what seemed like hours of walking, Sarah arrived at the edge of the chocolate hole. The sight that greeted her sent a chill down her spine. The hole was nothing like she had imagined. It was a swirling vortex of darkness, with tendrils of chocolate reaching out like grasping fingers. Ignoring the voice in her head that screamed for her to turn back, Sarah took a deep breath and stepped into the chocolate hole. The world around her dissolved into a whirlwind of colors and sounds, and she felt herself being pulled deeper and deeper into the abyss. Chapter 3. The Encounter. When Sarah opened her eyes, she found herself standing in a vast chamber made entirely of chocolate. The air was thick with the scent of sweetness, and strange shadows danced across the walls. As she took a hesitant step forward, a voice echoed through the chamber, sending shivers down her spine. "Welcome, Sarah," the voice boomed. "You have entered the domain of Choczilla, the hunter of souls." Sarah's heart raced in her chest as she scanned the room, searching for the source of the voice. Suddenly, a pair of glowing red eyes appeared in the darkness, followed by a sinister grin filled with sharp teeth. Choczilla had found her. Chapter 4. The Hunt Begins. With a menacing laugh, Choczilla emerged from the shadows, its form shifting and contorting before Sarah's eyes. It was unlike anything she had ever seen, a horrifying blend of human and monster, with claws that dripped with chocolate and eyes that gleamed with malice. "You have entered my domain, Sarah," Choczilla hissed. "And now the hunt begins." Fear gripped Sarah's heart as she realized the gravity of her situation. She was now the prey in Choczylla's twisted game, and the rules were simple: survive or be devoured. And so began the most harrowing ordeal of Sarah's life. Choczilla stalked her through the chocolate chamber, its laughter echoing off the walls as it toyed with her, pushing her to the brink of madness. Each twist and turn brought new terrors, as Sarah fought to outwit her monstrous pursuer and escape with her life. But as the hours turned to days, and the days turned to nights, Sarah began to realize the true horror of Choczylla's hunt. It wasn't just about survival, it was about breaking her spirit, about driving her to the edge of despair until she begged for death. Will Sarah be able to outsmart Choczilla and escape the chocolate hole, or will she become another victim of its relentless hunt? Only time will tell in this chilling tale of terror and suspense.